everybody! It is Self-Care Sunday! Welcome to the program tonight. Who is joining us tonight on Self-Care Sunday? Jennifer is in first. How are you, Jennifer? Is Kitty second? Come on, Kitty, I'm pulling for you. No, the other Florida, Jennifer in Orlando is second. Cindy in Texas, Karen, Stephanie, Kitty, like fifth. Kitty. What was on TV that you had to turn off, Kitty? It's okay. Sage is watching. Hey, Adele and Dazzle. Dennis. Good to have you all with us on this Self-Care Sunday. Hey, Barb. Good to have you all with us. Self-Care Sunday, people. Yes. Whew. Hang on one second. Was I going to sneeze? No, not going to sneeze. History Channel. Okay. Hey, Kitty, I can tell you how that came out. That war, I can tell you how it ended. Hello from Reno, Stella. Good to have you with us. Good to have you with us. Sorry I was running a few minutes late tonight. Got dinner in before the show tonight. Dinner in before the show. That means dessert after the show. Hey, Michelle in Virginia. Ashley joining us tonight. Good to have you all with us on this Self-Care Sunday. Self-Care Sunday tonight. It is great to have you with us as we await tomorrow's announcement of what the governor of Massachusetts will say. Pat, do not worry about it. I don't want you worrying too much about any of this, but I get it. Dreaming about FTEs. You should be dreaming about sugar plums and stuff like that. Good stuff. Just know that you're an FTE, Pat. I got faith in you. You know, Vicky is joining us in Georgia tonight. Great to have you with us, Vicky. Welcome to the program. Hey, Dana. I hope so too, Dana, but I'm not betting on it till June, but I'll take whatever he gives us. So, we were just discussing, you know, I'm good about being the person behind the person helping the decision get made. And Cassandra turned to me, well, what is the governor going to say tomorrow then? And I'm like, well, this one's a little harder. He has quoted me many times, but this one's going to be a little tougher. Yes, don't worry. When you lay your head down to sleep, Pat, I just want you laying down and not a care in the world. Just worry about what's in front of you. We will get through this. We will pink calculator your FTEs. The form is incredibly confusing. We will get there. What am I drinking in my fancy glass tonight? I am drinking a half gin, half vodka martini. Half gin, half vodka tonight. Hey, Angela. Happy Self-Care Sunday. Ashley, it is tough because everything's been about getting people off of unemployment. I get it. And so there hasn't been anything directly, you know, there's some smaller grants coming along. I think there's going to be some stuff, but it has been about getting people off of unemployment really has been the big political pressure. You know, you still, even with no employees, will qualify for the EIDL loan. Yes, it's a loan, but it's about getting you to the other side. Hey, Glenda. Good to have you with us here on Self-Care Sunday. So what is everybody grateful for this Self-Care Sunday? What is everybody grateful for on this Self-Care Sunday? Good sales and great feedback from Vicky, who opened on Friday in Georgia. That is great to hear. Love hearing that. Who else has got some good news for me? Kitty took a day off. I did not today. I got a hectic week, but that's okay. I usually go a little slower on Sunday, but I did not today. Stella had an excellent sales week. Some would say Stella had a stellar sales week. Hey, Karen, I'm jealous. Dinner at an actual restaurant. Although I did, quote-unquote, cook 2 nights in a row, take out 2 nights in a row tonight, which was nice. Yeah, oh no, I get it, Kitty. This working 6-7 days a week is a drain. I did say to Cassandra tonight, I don't know why I'm tired tonight, and she's like, it's the end of the day. You know, you're supposed to be tired. You know, you worked all day, and I'm like, yeah, no, that can't be it. Jennifer gets to go back to work tomorrow. But no, you do need to take this time. That's why we call it Self-Care Sunday, and that's why we want you to take time for yourself on Self-Care Sunday. It just, the way this week, we had I had that interview today, and they had a photographer come out and everything for it. So I had to be on site today for that. And, oh, Wendy, I get that. That is huge. One day is something, you know, I mean, even just being allowed to have employees back in the building and the little bit that we had last week was huge. It took a great deal of pressure off, well, especially Cassandra, because she's been doing most of the store stuff. You know, that just having those couple employees back has been huge, and they've been incredibly grateful and excited to be back. Glenda opened on Thursday. That is awesome, Glenda. I'm so excited to hear that. Hey, Deanne in Arizona. Feeling hot, hot, hot. That's what happens in Arizona. Everything's hot, hot, hot. Well, this is great, folks. I'm so glad to hear it. That's a lot of good stuff on this Self-Care Sunday. I am sorry I didn't get a recipe posted earlier today, but I still get one. I'll get a recipe posted for this week. I did not get to one, but I will. I apologize for that, because I think that's become part of our Self-Care Sunday tradition. Every night we start the night with our Good Morning, Good Night book. Our Good Morning, Good Night book is what we start the night with, by Lin-Manuel Miranda. I was quoting that to somebody earlier today, and I'm like, you know, the guy from Hamilton. I'm like, you want me to remember names? I don't do names, but the guy from Hamilton. So our Good Morning tonight is, good morning. Set the thermostat for your heart today. The temp where you like it. You know yourself. You know what you need. Take your time. That is a perfect one that I flipped to for Self-Care Sunday. Absolutely perfect. All right, what do we got on the list here today? Well, I missed the other day, bike to work day, pizza party day, and chocolate chip day. Not chocolate chip cookie day, chocolate chip day. And who doesn't like a handful of chocolate chips? Yes, Cheryl, anything, business collateral, anything over $25,000. It's just using business collateral. Okay, the collateral of the business, not personal collateral on anything over $25,000 is what the loan documents say. Hey, Joanne. Anything over $200,000 requires a personal guarantee, Cheryl. And anything over $500,000 makes a colonoscopy look desirable. Hey, Marcia, good to have you join us tonight. Joanne, you in Chicago, great to have you here with us. What do we got going on here? Okay, so we're going to come back to that stuff. We got a lot of stuff tonight. I promised you a busy night tonight. So, you ready to get going on this? What is in my pile tonight? I thought this was good for Self-Care Sunday. So, this is from a company that provides support to people. It's mental health and just well-being. Okay, is part of their thing, but they do a lot of work with businesses. And so here are some helpful hints for the physical you. Move more. This means break the laundry up into 4 groups and make 4 trips up the stairs, or get the mail 1 piece at a time. Park in the back of the parking lot. We must find creative ways to move more. If you like exercising, then do that. But if you don't, you must simply find ways to move more. 10-second vacation. Well, this is about all I'm going to get in the next year. When working at the computer every 20 minutes or so, do these 4 things. Focus your eyes on the farthest object you can preferably see. Preferably look out a window. Take 3 conscious breaths. I hate when my watch tells me I need to breathe. I'm breathing. And then it yells at me that I did it wrong. Preferably long and deep, but any'll do. Roll your shoulders. Not your eyes. Roll your shoulders. Back and hold it for 5 seconds. Oh, hang on a second. That requires... I can't do that. That requires rhythm. And bend your neck back far enough to look up the ceiling and hold it for 3 seconds. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi. Huh. Hey, Lisa. Great to have you with us in Canada. Mental helpful hints. Trying to calm your mind down now while we're in this lockdown situation is like trying to train for a marathon while you're running in it. Give yourself a break, and if you truly want to make things better, promise yourself when this thing is over, you'll work on your state of mind and practice meditation and stillness. Then you'll be a better armed for the next time something challenging comes your way. Your thoughts, this goes to you, Pat, your thoughts are on the dreaded hamster wheel, and your thoughts are 90% likely about the big 4. Health, food, money, or relationships. When you catch yourself on the hamster wheel, ruminating about one of these subjects, you must make the commitment to stop yourself. You may have to stop yourself 24 times. Do it. The benefits of stopping this unhelpful mind pattern will not be immediately apparent, but it must be done. Get up, go cook something, go for a drive, do laundry. Find something to distract your thoughts. This is imperative. Hey, Krita, good for joining us. Read things backwards. If you're not reading a novel for enjoyment, then read it backward. It reduces the drama factor and gets you facts you need without having to drudge through the entire article. You need truth right now, not drama. Read backwards. Your comprehension will improve greatly. And break chores and projects into smaller pieces, the smallest pieces, so you can take a step. Remember the claymation movie, Santa Claus is Coming to Town? Remember when the warlock dances with Kris Kringle and says, put one front in front of the other? That's you! You must take the first step, so you must enable the situation to take the first step. So, do that. Those are some helpful hints this Self-Care Sunday. All right, moving on. Are we ready to move on? We self-care? In other news, in other things happening, there are things happening in the world, believe it or not. Believe it or not, I'm walking on air. Facebook acquires Giphy. I'm probably pronouncing that wrong. Giphy? What's the correct pronunciation? Jiffy. Jiffy? Okay, I'm pronouncing it right since from the peanut gallery, there is no consensus on how to pronounce it. Giphy, image sharing platform for $400 million. So during a pandemic, they had an extra $400 million. And Giphy will join the Instagram team and see its GIF library further integrated into the app along with other Facebook products. Giphy will continue to operate its library, Facebook said, and the platform is expected to preserve its branding per Axios. Half of Giphy's traffic already comes from Facebook apps, with Instagram making up a significant bulk of that volume. So, that is interesting. Well, we talk about baking on Self-Care Sunday, and Google is auditioning candidates to succeed the third-party cookie. Yes, the cookies that, you click and say it's okay that you know that cookies are being stored on your computer. And Google is testing out ideas to replace the cookie that is used in browsing. And that will ultimately change the way advertising is done or controlled. So its goal is to end excuse me, in the next 2 years to end the uses of support for cookies in Google Chrome, which will then spread to other browsers. So that is kind of interesting. JCPenney was in a lot of news this weekend. Okay, all in the last couple of weeks. You know, they made up with Sephora. Okay, they kissed and made up. They, you know, threatened to not make their debt payments, then made a debt payment. Then they filed for bankruptcy. Hey, Ann, thanks for joining us tonight. Yes, so Friday, late Friday, JCPenney filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy. But they have financing in place for things and a lot of money. Where's my one that tells me how much money they got? Well, the real sleazy thing they did, okay, is to retain talent. To keep their executives, okay, you know, and I've said all along throughout this, even when JCPenney was expected to file bankruptcy early on to be one of the stores that filed bankruptcy as part of this, that they had the most cash on hand, okay, and they've paid out as it stock near zero and filed towards bankruptcy. They paid out over $10 million to executives, $4.5 million for the CEO, and $1 million each for the CFO, Chief Merchant Officer, Chief Human Resources Officer. And most of the money does have, in a surprising twist, the money does have to be repaid if the executive is terminated for cause or resigns before January 31st, 2021. And 20% must be paid back if the company misses performance goals. And the company also accelerated, on top of the $10 million, an additional $2.4 million in bonuses. You know, I mean, that's just, you know, yes, you need to retain talent, don't get me wrong, and in good times and in bad, retaining talent is important. But I think that speaks to the excesses of abusing the system, especially when the little guy, all the people below them at JCPenney aren't going to get squat. I think that has James Cash Penney rolling in his grave right now at such misgivings. And in other news, the hedge fund is pushing for Neiman Marcus and Saks Fifth Avenue to merge. So, noting previous interest from Saks, they are pushing to get between 2.8 and 4.7 billion of potential value, and selling off Neiman's and making it part of Saks. Neiman's is a historic brand. The Peanut Gallery loves Neiman's, and has fond memories of going to Neiman's for lunch in Dallas. So I'm just saying. So we don't want to see Neiman's fall off the map there, but interesting boardroom dealings there. And and that brings us to what you really showed up for tonight, and that is to hear what I had for dinner. Oh no, you showed up tonight to talk again about the Paycheck Protection Program. I'm guessing that's what we're talking about tonight. I promised you we would. And I published last night the Paycheck Protection Program loan forgiveness application, which has got a lot of 11 pages of gobbledygook in it. Okay, a lot of gobbledygook. Lots and lots of it. Okay, so let's deal with some of the most important gobbledygook again, and if you have questions, we will clear it up. I do have several emails today that I know I have to get with people directly on regarding their forgiveness and making sure they're going to hit it. I'm pretty confident that most of us are going to be able to hit one of the thresholds for forgiveness and get it forgiven. So I'm fairly confident. I have been all along. There is talk with our friends in Congress that they may extend the period a little bit, which will make it even easier. But based on the fact that we actually have published rules now of how this game is going to play out, I feel that most of us can get across the finish line with this to 100% forgiveness, which is exciting. Hey, Angie Hulus, thanks for joining us tonight. Was thinking about you earlier. Actually thinking about Leonard earlier. Hope all is okay with his eBay dispute. Where am I today? Okay, so let's start with what we got. We've got, in this, we define what an FTE is. An FTE is a full-time equivalent. A full-time equivalent is someone that works 40 hours. A 40-hour person is a full-time equivalent. That is what equals full-time equivalent according to the government. So that is wonderful. Hey, Ellen Didion is joining us, and Mike is probably in the background in her peanut gallery. Good to have you with us tonight. Great to have you here. Phoning in from the beach, I'm guessing. But it is great to have you here. So an FTE is someone working 40 hours. You can calculate all your employees based on FTEs, okay? And it's fine, Ellen. I know most of the time you catch the replay, and I bet you had a nice sunset on the beach tonight, so that's okay. It's all good. So you can calculate additional FTEs by taking all your payroll hours for a period, adding them up, dividing it by 40, and that gives you how many full-time equivalent employees have. The government, in its infinite wisdom, has also calculated another method for calculating an FTE. The alternate method, okay, is by adding up, taking your full-time employees, those that are working 40 hours a week, and counting them as one employee. Anyone that does not work 40 hours is counted as half an employee. And you add that up to get your full-time equivalents. For most of us, doing the real math will do you better good than the other math, but either way is acceptable to the government. The other gift in this document, okay, is the availability, okay. Hang on a second, I got to turn to my highlighted pages. Of what they are calling the hey Sarah, good to have you with us. I just want to make sure I'm using the government's term. Is the safe harbor. So if you didn't reach during your 8-week period, again, this has to be money, has to be spent in the 8 weeks following you getting it. Okay, there is one minor alteration to the 8-week time frame, and the 8-week time frame can be further defined as the start of the first pay period after you're getting it. So if you got the PPP in the middle of a pay period, you don't have to use that pay period. You can use the start of the next pay period as the beginning time of your 8-week calculation. Okay? But if you don't maintain your full-time equivalent levels during the 8 weeks, there is a safe harbor provision that will save most everybody here, okay? And that as long as you achieve that before June 30th, a restoration of your FTEs by June 30th, and it's actually using a specific pay period if you match your FTEs to. So the pay period it is using, which is a little confusing, is it is using the pay period that includes the date of February 15th. So whatever pay period you have that includes the date of February 15th, 2020 may be used as an alternative calculation, that pay period, you can use that to calculate your FTEs for that, using the same math as I've discussed. And if you restore that to that number, whatever that number was during that time in February, and that one time only, and if you restore to that level before June 30th, then you have met the requirements of the PPP. And that is really cool. That is going to help a lot of you, especially those of you that have been closed. Okay, and haven't been able to have your FTEs back but got the PPP early. Okay, it still requires a full spend of the money during the 8 weeks. That has not changed. It still requires the 75, or in Neil math, 80% used for payroll. That has not changed. Okay, but having that safe harbor provision so that you can meet it, as long as you meet it before June 30th, okay, that you hit your FTEs, then you're golden. And it's not too bad, just like Michelle said. Michelle says it's not too bad, and if Michelle says it's not too bad, it's not too bad. Okay? And she's in Virginia. That's sort of closed, but sort of not closed till like June 10th or something. So, that is the other confusing part of that 11 pages. So even if you say, okay, like Michelle just said, I can hit that. Before June 30th, I'll hit my FTEs, I'll spend the money like I'm supposed to spend it, and I'll be fine. We still have to do the math for all the other calculation methods and provide it to the government as part of it. So that's sort of the confusing part, is all the other math still has to get done, but it doesn't matter as long as you hit the June 30th part. And for a lot of you, since I've done so many of yours numbers, that is that definition is a true gift. And I felt like I knew it was coming, but having it in writing and very clearly, well, as clear as government does anything, spelled out, is really great. Hey, Crystal, thanks for joining us tonight. I thought of you earlier. I was flipping channels on the radio, and Rocky Mountain High came on, and I said, hey, I haven't seen Crystal on the last couple nights, and there you are. The universe is speaking to us, Crystal. And Jennifer Welty, thought of you too. Cassandra had to make a tough choice yesterday. She only had enough time at Costco to either get liquor or spinach dip. Liquor or spinach dip. She went with the liquor. You've been working through the calculations this afternoon, Krita. That's great. Well, you also have Ronnie, who's pretty good with a calculator. You have to hit the FTE equivalent too, Joanne. So somewhere in there in that math, and I'm pretty sure it's because you and I have talked so many times, I'm not too worried about your FTEs, Joanne, because we've run it a bunch of times. But, you know, it would be worthwhile sometime in the next week or so to just run it again to make sure we hit the June 30th date. Oh, Krita, that just made me laugh. That's great. Roddy was playing golf. Don't worry about it. I'm not too worried. You got so many heads on your payroll. I'm not too worried. You have to hit it, Dana. That is correct. You have to hit it before June 30th. Optimally, you would hit it at the last part of your PPP would be perfect, just so that you can close it out so that they're not looking at periods before or after it. But as long as you hit it is what the document says. Is what the regulations say and what the document says. And it has to hit to that February 15th week, the payroll period that has February 15th, which is completely different than any of the other periods that you're looking at. It's completely and totally, this is a fourth period that you're looking at. You got to keep in mind, there are multiple periods that have to be reported on for this PPP. Your application is based on your payroll for 2019. So your application is based on payroll for 2019. Forgiveness is based on, you still have to do the calculations for FTEs between either February 15th, 2019 and June 30th, 2019, or January 1st, 2020 and February 29th, 2020. Your choice. Again, that is your choice in which period you calculate that for. And then there's yet this new period for the safe harbor, okay, which talks about, the payroll that includes the 15th of February 2020. Payroll that includes the 15th of February 2020. And so my recommendation, okay, is that you hit it as part of your last week of the PPP, your last pay period of the PPP, so they're not looking before it and they're not looking after it. So it's not like you say you hit it at week 4 and don't hit it again. Hit it at that last week, if nothing else. Make sure you hit it in that last week. Okay, and salaried people are counted as 40, Dennis. So every salaried person is considered 40 plus your FTEs. Depending on your payroll provider, some payroll providers actually count hours in at 40, and some payroll providers just list it as salary and don't list hours. But salary, from a government perspective, is counted at 40. It is random, but it's not random because that's the first place that was issued as a disaster area because of it, that had a disaster declaration back to February 15th. So it's not as random a date as it sounds. And the government does, look at certain pay periods. Usually it's the week of payroll. Like the Bureau of Labor Statistics uses the payroll that includes the 12th. Okay, is for the Department of Labor, Bureau of Labor Statistics report, the jobs report. If you're ever asked to become a reporting business for that, which we were at one point, the date is not as random as it sounds. You round to the nearest 10th on FTEs. Nearest 10th. Unless you're using the alternative half calculation. Yes, Dana, it can be, you can be any hours, you can be any of those weeks up to that. I would hope you hit it your last week or any week up to June 30th to hit it is fine. Okay, the last week of your PPP or any week up to June 30th, whichever's easier for you, is fine to hit it. And again, just if you have, you want me to run your numbers again, anybody, I'm happy to do it. We will get there. I'm going to be doing a lot of math with people in the coming weeks. Now that we have this, it's not that hard. It's much easier to get to, making sure that we have forgiveness. Okay, and it should be, again, since I've run most of your numbers, it really is something we can do. This is achievable for most everybody. I can't come up with anybody that I have talked to off the top of my head that I can't think of that will get forgiven. And I've talked to a ton of you, as you know. So I'm expecting we are going to get everybody's 100% forgiven, and we will be able to document this and get there. So don't lose sleep over this, Pat. Don't lose sleep over this, Dana. Certainly, Jennifer in Naples. Do not lose sleep over this. Okay? Bake some cookies or something, but don't lose sleep over this. But we will get there. That is the key highlights of it. There's a lot of other stuff in it. Okay, we will totally get there. I mean, this is not That is the fact that they've defined this is a true gift, okay, and a blessing upon us. So we will take that blessing and we will ride it. We will ride it, and we will get these loans forgiven. That is for sure. I'm not letting people have this turn into a loan. That is not on my watch. We're not doing it. We're not doing it. But I'm sure I will have even more information tomorrow night on it as things continue to develop. But I was so excited by this. Oh, Dana, we'll get there. Do not include overtime hours into the calculation, Dennis. Only straight payroll. Only straight payroll in your FTE calculation. We'll find 4 or 6 people to come to work for you, Dana, if you need it. We'll get everybody in Indiana to come to work for you. The EIDL loan cannot be forgiven, Deanne. If anything, it will get easier, Jeff. It will get more time. It is the biggest thing that may happen. The two things that may happen in a compromise bill. Okay, I'm expecting a compromise bill. And in a compromise bill, you could see the PPP time frame extend, okay, so that you have more than 8 weeks, or that you have a different starting time if the 8 weeks holds. The people that really want the 8 weeks to hold is because they actually want to be able to have businesses get additional PPPs as the actual disaster carries on. That doesn't mean that we won't be open or things, but the economic fallout from this will continue. So the theory is to get businesses, allow them to get 2 or 3 PPP loans. It is one possibility. And just the amount of weeks that is. The other part that could change in a compromise bill is the percentage for payroll versus other expenses. So they may lower that to like 50% or something, 50% payroll, 50% other expenses may be a compromise. And you can apply whatever rules you want. That's why there's going to be some advantage to not trying to get forgiveness. If your PPP was due for forgiveness on May 20th, well, it wouldn't be May 20th, on June 1st, okay? Because you got your PPP on the first day. You would want to wait a little bit before you went in and applied for forgiveness unless you had a rock-solid application. But everybody here is going to have a rock-solid application. Karen, it's not that overtime wages can't be included, but the overtime hours can't be included in your FTE calculation, just the base hours of 40. So 40 counts you as an FTE. You don't get to use that 45 as extra hours towards meeting FTE calculations. So you can pay people overtime. Not that husband of yours, but you can pay other people. Just joking. He can get overtime too. But that's just wages. The actual overtime time doesn't count towards your payroll hours. I am not open yet. Jennifer, we're waiting news from our governor. Is supposed to announce his plan tomorrow. I am not expecting much of that plan initially for us. I'm really not expecting till June. I would love to be pleasantly surprised, but I'm currently expecting June. But I've been told by the board I sit on for the state to sit by my email tomorrow because there's going to be a lot coming my way. So I will have access to my email tomorrow. I got a busy day tomorrow. Although tomorrow is lighter than Tuesday, so my Tuesday's even heavier than Monday. But Monday is usually one of my heaviest days of the week. So I have a feeling Monday will get piled onto. But I am here, back here again tomorrow night. You know what, Jennifer and everyone else? I'll be back here tomorrow night, live at 8 o'clock Eastern. These videos, everything that I cover, all the forms, documents, everything that I say is copied over to the page the next day by noon at narts.org/resalestrong, where you can share that with everybody you know. Everybody that's got a business, whether they're a butcher, a baker, a candlestick maker, we're going to get them to the other side of this. We are. They could even be a matchmaker. We're going to get them to the other side too, although I have not talked to a matchmaker yet. We are going to get them to the other side. It's all about getting people. Taking that one step, getting them to the other side. Everyone, I want to survive this. Okay? When you have your specific questions, when you need your help with your math, when you need the pink calculator to come out to you, you just email me. You email me, Neil, N-E-I-L, at ECIstores.com, N-E-I-L at ECIstores.com, and I will call you back. I'll get you right in the queue. I'll call you back. I'm within a couple of days right now on callback, so get your email in there, and I'm happy to give you a call. Michelle, you got such a personality. I don't know why you need a matchmaker. But that actually was one of my father's favorite shows, was Fiddler on the Roof. Matchmaker, matchmaker, make me a match. Find me a find, catch me a catch. That was. I remember we had to get him every time he got a new car, which he kept his cars a long time, so we had to move him from 8-track of Fiddler on the Roof soundtrack to cassette, and then I think we even got him a CD of it. Not 100% positive of that, but the Fiddler on the Roof went with him from car to car. But I'll be back here tomorrow night live at 8 o'clock Eastern, folks. We start every day and night of this program with the Good Morning, Good Night book. The Good Morning, Good Night book, for those of you that were not here at the top of the program. Our good morning today, it was, good morning. Set the thermostat for your heart today. The temp where you like it. You know yourself. You know what you need. Take your time. Our good night tonight, is good night. Set the thermostat for your heart tonight. The temp where you like it. You know yourself. You know what you need. Take your time. Peanut Gallery, do not play with the thermostat just because it said so in the book. Yeah, know that I read that thermostat thing somewhere. You leave those thermostats alone. Everybody, I'll be back here live tomorrow night. If you need me before then, you just email me, Neil, N-E-I-L, at ECIstores.com. And know that no matter what, you, and especially you, are not alone running this store. It's dessert time, everybody. I'll see you tomorrow. Have a great night.